Right friends, we are discussing various aspects of banking. This is 22nd module. In 21st module, we discussed about cooperative banks and regional rural banks. And in this module, we are going to discuss what is NABARD, then what is meant by lead bank scheme, service area approach, local area banks. So these things we are going to deliberate in this lecture. Let us look at NABARD. What is NABARD? NABARD is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. It is basically the supervisory organ when you look at the banking system, especially with regard to loans to agriculture and rural development. With regard to flow of funds through the banking system to agriculture and rural development, the task vested with this NABARD is to look into the flow of timely credit to agriculture and rural development. So, we have already learned that rural banks and cooperative banks are vested with basically agriculture and rural development, and who regulates them? When it comes to rural banks, that is RRBs, till date, administrative control is vested by their parent bank. Regulatory perspective is looked after by Reserve Bank of India. Issue and cancellation of license primarily rests with Reserve Bank of India because they are commercial banks. And third one is for day-to-day supervisory function, whether the loans are being given to agriculture and rural development or not, that is looked after by the supervisory organ NABARD, you can say. So if you look at the rural banks, parent bank, Reserve Bank of India and NABARD will come into picture. And if you look at cooperative banking system, the administrative control is exercised by state governments. Issue and cancellation of license, the real regulator is Reserve Bank of India. And whether the loans are being given to agriculture, rural development properly or not, that supervisory role is exercised by NABARD. NABARD gives refinance to other commercial banks also, as the flow of credit through commercial banks to rural areas is also one of the vital functions of the commercial banks in our country. So here you can say NABARD basically looks at timely flow of credit to agriculture and rural development. Second point is it looks at the development of rural financial institutions. Third point is it gives low cost credit, or you can say it gives refinance to various other banks and financial institutions so that the customer will be ultimately benefited. Right? So when you go to the historical perspective of NABARD, at the instance of Government of India, RBI constituted a committee under the chairmanship of B. Sivaraman. Committee is popularly known as the CRAFI-CARD. You may ask, what is CRAFI-CARD? CRAFI-CARD is a committee to review the arrangements for institutional credit for agriculture and rural development. Here, agriculture and rural development, these two words you should not forget when somebody is talking about NABARD. So based on Sivaraman committee recommendations, this NABARD started functioning from 12th July 1982, and it was formed by clubbing several institutions. I have given here, please go through them. By clubbing ACD, then RPCC, then ARDC. By clubbing these organs, NABARD came into existence on 12th July 1982. Initially, NABARD was set up with the initial paid up capital of rupees 100 crores. Now at present, the paid up capital is around rupees 4,000 crores. So this figure may change, but fundamental point to note is initially Reserve Bank of India used to hold substantial shareholding in NABARD, but now the entire shareholding, almost 99.6%, is held by Government of India. So please don't forget, NABARD will not work under Reserve Bank of India. NABARD is totally independent organization with almost 100% shares by Government of India. Right? Somebody have got misconception. NABARD works under Reserve Bank of India. It is absolutely not true. The organizations which are 100% owned by Reserve Bank of India, we have already discussed when we were deliberating on Reserve Bank of India. They were Deposit Insurance Credit Guarantee Corporation, National Housing Bank, Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudran Private Limited. So these three institutions are fully owned subsidiaries of Reserve Bank of India, but NABARD is owned by Government of India up to the extent of 99.5%. Please don't forget. And the mission, I have already told you, promote a sustainable and equitable agriculture and rural prosperity through effective credit support mechanisms. So please go through this. The mission is very clear. The main purpose of NABARD is to ensure timely credit to rural institutions where agriculture is predominant part. And main activities of NABARD. Main activities of NABARD include financial, developmental and supervision. First one is the financial. If you look at the financial responsibilities of NABARD, the main responsibility is arranging low-cost finance to various commercial banks, cooperative banks. The main purpose is NABARD has to arrange low-cost funds to these institutions, and these institutions will in turn pass on the benefit to the customers. So that is known as a refinance. If somebody says refinance, don't be frightened. Refinance is a development financial institution will arrange low cost finance to intermediaries. In this case, they are banks and cooperative institutions, and in turn they will pass on the benefit to the customers. So main purpose of NABARD is refinance, that is loans of maximum tenure of 15 years to agriculture and other allied activities. Basically, they will refinance to cooperative banks, regional rural banks, scheduled commercial banks. So like that, I have given the details here. They will give low cost finance to these institutions with the intention that they will pass on the benefit to the customers in rural areas. The second is direct finance. Here, I would like to tell you 2-3 points. One is Rural Infrastructure Development Fund. Rural Infrastructure Development Fund is maintained by NABARD. What is the purpose of Rural Infrastructure Development Fund? When the banks are not able to meet priority sector lending guidelines. All of you are well aware, priority sector lending, banks have to meet up to the extent of 40%. If there is any shortfall, banks have to deposit to Rural Infrastructure Development Fund, which is maintained by NABARD. In turn, what NABARD will do is, NABARD will give that money to state governments for rural development. That is direct finance. So NABARD will give RIDF money directly to state governments. Similarly, the second point is, NABARD has got another fund, that is NABARD Infrastructure Development Assistance or NIDA, that also will be given to state governments directly. And based on the Vaidyanathan committee recommendations, NABARD is also giving direct lending to district central cooperative banks. So this is about direct finance. And if you look at the development, and you should not forget the development of Kisan Credit Card. Kisan Credit Card was developed by NABARD. That means NABARD is the main force behind development of Kisan Credit Card. And at the same time, now NABARD is looking at bringing all the cooperative banks into the framework of core banking solutions. Now all the commercial banks are already into core banking solutions. Now NABARD is looking at integrating all the rural banks with core banking solutions. So these are the developmental functions. Not only that, financial inclusion and organizational development of cooperative banks and rural banks, that is the main purpose of NABARD. These are developmental functions. Then supervisory functions, I have already told you, it is basically exercises supervisory role over cooperative banks and rural banks. Please don't forget. And if someone asks, what is the exact role of NABARD? You can say it is acting as a sectoral development financial institution for development of agriculture and rural development. Right friends, look at the second issue, that is the lead bank scheme. Subsequent to the nationalization of 14 banks in 1969, Government of India brought the lead bank scheme. What is the purpose of lead bank? Purpose of lead bank is it will act as a coordinating bank in the district. It will coordinate all the activities, all the lending activities in the district. So the main purpose of a lead bank scheme is to act as a coordinating bank within the district, and this scheme was brought in the year 1969. Here I would like to tell you 2 points. National Credit Council Study Group was headed by Professor D.R. Godgill, and they recommended area approach, and subsequently the Committee of Bankers, that is the Nariman Committee, popularly known as, this was appointed by Reserve Bank of India, and it accepted the area approach and gave the name lead bank scheme. In 1969 itself, 380 districts in the country were identified with the lead bank scheme, and don't forget, in the year 2013 this lead bank scheme was brought by central government to metropolitan cities of the country, right? So if you ask what are the role and responsibilities of a lead bank, I have already told you the main purpose is to act as a coordinator for credit deployment in the district, and it will act as a leader to bring about the coordination among all the scheduled commercial banks, cooperative banks, regional rural banks, so that credit can be dispersed in better way across the district, the rural areas of the district. And at the same time, it will identify unbanked areas and will prepare a phase-wise program for branch expansion. So these are the roles and responsibilities of this lead bank. But what are the weaknesses? Lead bank will compile this voluminous data, and it will prepare action plan for expansion of branches in rural areas, but it has got no power to implement it. It is basically a coordinator with no authority for implementation and no clarity on the powers delegated. That's why you can say the lead bank scheme is not that successful experiment. But even then, the lead bank scheme basically acts for coordinating various banking activities in the district. Service area approach. This was subsequently brought somewhere in the 80s. Service area approach, instructions were given. Each semi-urban branch as well as a rural branch were assigned a specific area comprising a cluster of villages, so that bank will prepare an action plan for economic development of that particular area. That means the main purpose is to avoid duplication of efforts and scattered lending over wider areas. Lead bank scheme was brought only with coordinating powers and no real powers, but this service area approach brought adoption of villages with a specific timeline and with specific targets. But it was not a successful experiment, and I have given the reasons for its failure. Please go through it. Right friends, look at the last one, that is local area banks. These local area banks, as far as my knowledge goes, at present only 4 banks are existent in this country. The number may change, please don't take this as sacrosanct. As far as my knowledge goes, there are 4 local area banks. One is the Coastal Local Area Bank, Capital Local Area Bank, Krishna Bhima Samruddhi Local Area Bank, Subhadra Local Area Bank. So these 4 are in existence. Guidelines were issued by Reserve Bank of India in the year 1996. Basically, they are established on the lines of rural banks, so as to provide institutional mechanism for promoting rural savings and for provision of credit in those areas. And as per the guidelines, the paid up capital should be 5 crores of which promoters contribution will be at least 2 crores. As I have already told you, they are supposed to deliver the activities similar to regional rural banks, and they are planned to develop underdeveloped regions of the country. Accordingly, licenses were given in 90s, and this local area banks can have activities in 3 contiguous districts only. Their operations are limited to 3 contiguous districts. One district should have common boundary with other district. That is the meaning of contiguous districts. So these local area banks, the main purpose is to develop underdeveloped regions expected to function on similar lines of regional rural banks, and at present 4 are in existence, and the main focus is for development of rural areas. And Reserve Bank thought in 1990s these banks will come up on similar lines of regional rural banks. So this is about local area banks. In this lecture we discussed about NABARD, lead bank scheme, service area approach, then local area banks, and in 23rd lecture we are going to discuss about financial market, the difference between money market, capital market, and what is meant by government securities. All those things we are going to discuss in 23rd lecture. Please do join for 23rd lecture. Have a nice day. Thank you.